All right. Welcome everyone. I'm not sure how well this is gonna go because I'm like right now at my parents' holiday house, so the internet might not be that great, but we'll see. And the whole setup is like new, so maybe it'll work, maybe it won't work. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, welcome. Today, what we're gonna do is we're going to be working with the startup that I'm building, and we're gonna start, or last week what we did was we actually worked on this page of the app, and if you're new and haven't watched it before, then the whole idea of the app is that it's going to be a workout tracking app. Also, if someone could let me know if like the sound is coming through all right, that would be good. And yeah, all right. So let's see. I managed to get it all up and running a little bit faster this time, so that's good. Also, I just reached a partner here on Twitch, so I'm now able to have subscribers, which is pretty cool. So yeah, if you feel like doing that, you can. And also that stuff is just gonna, like any money I make off this is just gonna go back into like trying to make the stream better, trying to make my YouTube better, and yeah, so that's how that's gonna work. It's been like a couple of days since I did my last stream, so it feels like a bit new again, and also it's gonna be a bit different with the new setup here, so I'm not sure how it's gonna work out, but I think it probably will go pretty good. It's alright. Hey, by the way. Hey, escapist. What's up? I'm gonna try to read the chat a bit more as well, because I've kind of been bad at doing that sometimes, so I'm gonna try to do that a bit more. Alright. Let's see. Okay, so I ran it just before I started the stream, and this is what we've got right now. So this is what we've built, or this has been pretty much what we built last time. We made the swiping tab bar, so we can swipe between the different tabs. And we made this, which is going to be the starting tab. And today what I would like to get to is going to be this page, so this one right here, which is actually going to be like the workout page where we're going to track the different workouts. I've already made the SQL database, so we already have that, and what I've done is I've added a couple things, like I think if we do select start from users, this is a SQL command, and what this will do is it'll take this table and it will select all of the users that we have right now for the app. I've only added one user so far, so it's not going to be so it's just going to be one, I think. Yep, alright, so this is what we get. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger to make it look a bit better. So here we go, we have the ID of the user, which is just a randomly like generated string. We have the username, and we have the first name, last name, password is nothing right now. This is one of those things I'm gonna have to work on in the future as well, which is to basically encrypt the passwords, because I got a bit of like crap for that in one of the videos that I made for the startup vlog, which was that sorry for that. That was the crap that I got for it, was that I was storing the passwords as just plain text, which is like not what you're supposed to do. But I was doing that just because like I was testing it. It's not a real database right now. Like right now it's just well, it is a real one, but it's not live anywhere, so it doesn't matter how the passwords get stored because I'm the only one that's going to store stuff in this database at this moment. But yeah, so that's something that we're going to have to try to fix at some point, is just make sure that the passwords get encrypted and they get stored in the encrypted fashion. I'm not too good at that, so I don't know how that works exactly, but I think it's some sort of like hashing function or something like that that does it. But yeah, so we have this, and we can also do select, because I think I added some workouts just to select star from workouts just to test the database. And what this does is select star just means it selects everything, and from is then going to be the table. And what we're selecting from now is the workouts table. So what this will do is it'll get the workouts that we have, make it bigger again. I'm hoping that you guys can see the entire, I think you can see the entire thing. So what we have here is the workout ID, which is just going to be a unique identifier to be able to get the workouts. We have the user ID of the workout, that's going to be like the relationship between, basically, like I'm fairly new to all this, so I'm not an expert in any way, but like this is the user ID and that refers to this user, and that's going to be the relationship that these two tables have. So that means that if we have the user ID, we can then get the workouts related to that user. And what we get when we select the workout is we get the total load, which is going to be the total like kilos lifted or pounds or whatever. We get the total sets performed in the workout, we get the total reps, and we get the date of the workout, and we get the name of the workout. And then we have also like maxes. So what we can do is we can again do select star from maxes. And that'll then get all the different maxes that we've done. And what you can see here is you get the exercise ID, or the ID for the max, I think. And then we get what the actual max was. So that was then 30 reps at 20, which is going to be kilos in this case. So 30 reps at 20 kilos. And then we have another one that's 15 reps at 20 kilos. And this is then going to be something that automatically stores all your maxes, so you don't have to like tell the app that okay, I did a new max or anything like that. It's just going to automatically store your maxes. Hello for bravery. I don't know how to say that to be honest. All right. Let's actually start now with what we want to do. So what we want to do, what I'm hoping to be able to get done in this, I'm not really sure what I'm going to be able to get done, but basically we want to be able to we want to separate each exercise like this. So each exercise is going to be separated on a specific card. And then we're going to get also summarize like the total reps for that specific exercise, the total reps for this one, and then the total reps of the entire workout. Okay, so let's just jump straight into it and start building some of this stuff. Okay, so we will close the backend, we don't need that. And then we're gonna go to the, let's see, UI workout page. All right, so here we have the workout page. Gonna make it a bit bigger again. see. Like so. Alright. Exit out that thing. Alright. So when we run it right now, if we press the start button, then we get to this container here. And that is then this thing. So this is the container that we see here once we press the start button. And what we want to do here instead is we want to add a row with all the exercise names. So we're going to go back just for a second and look at this. So this is what we want to add on top here. We want to add exercise, reps, sets, weight, and rest, which is going to be like guiding the user to where to type in what. Okay, actually what we want to do is we want to actually build this thing. Yeah. Oh wait. No, this is what we want to build. Alright, so we want this, what do we call that? This screen, we want that to come up, that little alert window. So we're going to actually build that. So let's see where we're at. I can't press set state, work as equals. So what we could do, someone actually commented this on a video that I could just do this, which is a lot simpler. So instead of doing the question mark and all that stuff, you can always do this, which of course makes a lot of sense, but I just, sometimes when you're coding and building stuff, you're just like, you just do things and you don't really think too much about them. See, that works just as well as the other thing worked. Okay, here is where we want to add the alert window. So what we want to do is we want to go to the internet, the interweb, and we want to see if we can find how to create an alert window. Alert window, Flutter. All right. So Manly Sillycord asked, can a chart be linked to Firebase? Want a graph that shows my app user growth using a chart from Firebase. Yeah, yeah, you probably can. I don't really know what to answer on that actually. But yeah, I think you can. Alright. Flutter alert dialogs, this is the one. Okay, show dialog. Okay, we can't copy that. That's shit. Alright, so what they do, usually I've done this before, and they do something like show dialog. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a couple of these dialogues, so we don't want to just do something like show alert, because if we do that, then we're not going to be able to keep track of like which alert are we actually showing. So we want to show start workout alert. So show start workout alert. And if you've seen any of my videos and streams before, then you know that I like to I'd like to go with longer names that explain what the actual thing is going to be, rather than go with a short name that doesn't fully explain what the method is, or what the variable is going to be, whatever the thing is. Alright, show dialog. Okay, and then this thing is, I think, well, I don't, okay. What I was going to say is I think that you need to wrap this stuff in like a theme if you want to change. So let's say I wanted to change the background color, so I wanted that to be like red or whatever color. then you need to wrap this in a theme, but I don't think we need that, because if we look at the design, then all we want is just a white window with green buttons, and I think the buttons we can have whatever color we want, so it doesn't really matter. Actually, this is going to be quite good, because now we're going to have to actually like do some work with the API. We're going to have to do some requests and get all the names of the different workouts that we've done, so that we can actually have this list show up here. So that's actually this is going to be a pretty good thing to start with. Okay, let's see. We're gonna have to do that. All right, so context, and what was the other one? Builder, right? Yep. Build context, return alert dialog. Okay. Build context, return alert dialog. Okay, so if we then try to add this here, what happens? We're gonna remove that for now because we don't really care about that. Okay. Actually, let's run it from the start. Okay, so now we get this, like there is an alert dialog here, but there's nothing to show because we haven't actually added anything. Do we do child? What exists in this one? Let's see. Okay, title. Okay, so that's title style. If you hold on the thing, then you get like this list of all the things that class contains. Content, okay. I think this is what we want. Okay, so container. We're just gonna try to make a white container. So colors dot white. Actually, we're gonna do, because last time we did a white color. What do we call it? Background color or something? I think we're gonna use background color. Like so, and then we run it, and then we do, okay, so now we get a container here, which is going to be what contains our alert. All right, but the size is way too big, so we can do height equals, let's do 300. Okay, so now we get a window that looks a little bit more like what we want. Okay, let's see. Oh, actually, let's look at the design again. All right, so that is what our alert window looks like here. You see the window is kind of a little bit, it's not quite as close to the edges as this one is, but that's something that I think is like, it's not worth trying to fix that right now, because that's like, I think that's pretty, like, takes a lot of effort to actually fix that. As far as when I've tried it before, it takes a lot of effort, and it's not super important for this part. It's something that we can fix later on if we want. And that's usually what I like to do, is like, at least at the start here, we just want to build what's called like an MVP, so minimum viable product. And for that, you don't really need to care too much about like the cosmetic things. So like if this is this wide, or if it's like 1 centimeter wider or whatever, like that doesn't really matter too much. Oh, hey, Alberto Barry. Yeah, I'm not in my room. I'm at my parents' holiday house, so it's a different setup and it's a different room. Okay, but that's good. Now we have that. What we need to do now is we just need to create... What do we need to do? Let's have a look. Okay, so we want to add the title and the buttons and a list view here. So let's just go ahead and add that. Child, this is going to be a column. I love my columns. Children. And what we want is we want a title. And this is going to be... What is that? Do you want to redo an old workout? Okay. Do you want to redo an old workout? Question mark. Alright, that's good. And then we want to set the style to title style. No? Okay, we don't have that. What do we have? Let's have a look. We can go to our global button text style. That's not what we want. Okay, so we've only added that text style apparently. I feel like we added more, but maybe we haven't. Oh no, we haven't. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's add another one, and this is going to be our title style. And this is going to be set globally so that we can then access that anywhere, so we don't have to like... so if we want to change it at some point, we're just going to change it here, and it'll change everywhere. Okay, avenue, font weight, bold, color equals dark. What do we want the color to be? Title color, I think. Okay, we're just gonna have that for now, I think. Yeah. And then we'll run it and see if it looks good. We'll have to run it. Okay. Title color, okay, text color maybe. So it might be that it shows up, it's just that it's white, so we don't see it. No, okay. Start workout button color. Let's go with that one. Okay, and run it from the start. Alright, so now we have this, and we get that. That's good. Okay. What does that look like though? It looks like that's actually centered, so we want that to be centered here as well. So we can do, there's a thing here called text alignment or align. Nope, isn't it? Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. It's actually in the, so here. So let's go text align center, run it, and now it should be in the center. So that's where we want it. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and add the list as the next thing. And that's when we're gonna get into kind of the fun stuff, which is like building or like requesting the server and then getting the stuff from the database, which is at least what I think is a little bit more interesting. All right, let's see, what do we have? Okay, we have a container. We want to set the size of it. So height equals 100. We're gonna set the color just so that we can actually see it. Colors.red. Okay. And when we run it, the kind of annoying thing is that when you're using alert windows, if I just, like, if I set this to be yellow now, and I just run it with the regular, like, hot reload, then nothing happens here. Like, I can run it several times, it just, nothing happens. So you have to run it with the, oh, no, you don't have to do, oh shit, sorry. Okay, so nothing happens when you run it like that, but if you go out of it and then open it up again, it'll change to yellow. So that's kind of an annoying thing with the alert windows. Let's go red. Okay, and we want to set the child is going to be a list view. Children, and this is where we're going to get the children. So we're going to get saved workouts. Alright. I think that's what we want to do. The thing is that, because you can do this in different ways, you can do like a future builder. Maybe let's do a future builder. Stream builder, maybe? I just actually learned this today, which is that apparently when you do a future builder, it just, like, you have to call on it for it to actually reload something from a database. Because the thing is that if you update something to the database, then you also have to do some sort of updates locally to fetch the new data, whatever has been added. And if you do a future builder, then you're just gonna basically, if I understood this correctly, you're gonna call and fetch the data every time that you call that method. But if you do a stream builder, then that's gonna automatically, like, check and see has anything updated on the server. If it has, then it'll pull that down and update your UI basically. So I think a stream builder is going to be better for this case, because let's say that you do a workout and then you save that and then you want to start a new workout straight away, then you want to be able to see that workout in the list, and this is going to be then what's going to allow you to actually see that thing in the list. I guess you could do like a future builder that as soon as you press the start workout button, then it also like updates from the server. Astronauts, how's it going? I'm going good. How are you? And let's see. Okay, so what is a stream builder? Let's go down. Feels like they went too overboard with it, because I know like there's very simple ways to do this, and right now I just want to do the simple way because I don't really see the point in doing anything else. Okay, player state, stream, controller stream. Alright, that does not seem to be the right one. List view with a stream builder, that's exactly what we're looking for. Let's see. let's just copy that thing and see if we can figure it out once we're in the actual code. So what we want to do here is we want to do a list of widgets, get saved workouts, and paste that here. Okay, and I think I misspelled something. Oh yeah, misspelled it there. Oh, is that what you were saying? Or whatever you're called. Hey, I just came. Okay, so I'm right now building the startup thing. So, or my startup, which is the workout tracking app. So I hope you're up to date now. Okay, let's see. Okay, stream posts. Where did he get posts? Okay, so this final stream version I'm making. Okay, so let's just see if we can figure this out ourselves. Let me see what that contains. String. Okay. Okay, maybe that is the way to do it. Because I think it's similar to what a future builder is. So in the future builder, I think you do it this way, where you basically try to get some data, and that's usually called like snapshot data, which is what we have here. Okay, snapshot.error, pasting snapshot. That's just going to be a snapshot, like so. Alright, I think we're actually, this is starting to look pretty good. Item list, return item list, snapshot.data. Okay, let's see what the item list was. Item list. Okay, where does he have his item list? Okay, that's just in one place. Okay. Oh yeah, maybe that's just because we don't. Okay. No content. Else. This. I think that will solve that problem. Nope. Okay, it didn't. Why did it solve that problem? No content. Okay, maybe okay, I don't really know why that is giving us an error, but what we can do is we can just add this as a container. That should work. List container is not a widget. Return text. That should work, shouldn't it? Alastair Young. I'm just gonna answer some questions. Like if I see some questions in the chat, I'm just gonna like stop and answer them for a bit. So I hope that's fine, and maybe that will be interesting for you guys to kind of hear whatever my answer would be to your questions. You've probably been asked this question before. But what do you think of the strong workout tracking app Oh, the strong workout tracking app. Well, we can go to that. I'm actually like making an ad for their workout app now, but maybe I can trash it. No, but like the thing is that it's not there are workouts app out there that are good, but what they do is they like lack a lot of features, and the features that they do have kind of aren't that great. I often feel like what I want with my app is I want it to be like as simple as possible. I want like a 3-year-old to be able to use it, and I think I put it like this. I want a 3-year-old to be able to use it, and I want an elite athlete to have everything they need in it. And that's something that I haven't seen anywhere. Like this, I just don't think it looks good, and I think that it's like quite like where you have the exercise name up there and it's kind of cluttered. Like there's a lot of stuff on here. Like you have a W there. I don't know why there's a W there. Is that just to tell me that that's the weight, or what is that for? Why is there like a tick box here? And there's so much stuff on here. And if you look at, I'm not saying like that my design is so great, but for me, this is like a really good design. And I really think that it is good. And basically here you'll just be like pressing the add button, and then what you'll end up with then is this little screen here where you can choose to either add a new set or a new exercise. And then you can basically select whatever name you want to name your exercise, which is one of the problems with a lot of apps out there, is that they have a pre-decided list of exercises. So that means that you don't get to like name your exercise whatever you want. So maybe you're like a foreign person, you want to name it in the language that you're used to, then you can't name it that because they have a predefined list. And also they might lack exercises that you want to do. And sometimes you have exercises that you want to do that doesn't really have a name and you just made up a name for it. And then it's kind of good to be able to add your own names here. Plus, a lot of them like miss the features of like tracking things. So I want to be able to track pretty much everything that I do with my workouts. I want to be able to track how many reps I've done, how many sets I've done. I want to be able to see like all my maxes. I want to be able to see, for instance, like let's say that you have, because a lot of times when you're in the gym, what I end up doing is like, okay, last workout, what did I do? Let's say I'm doing bench press and I want to know like, okay, how much weight was I doing last time when I was doing bench press, and how many reps, how many sets. And one of the kind of nifty features that I came up with, or actually I didn't come up with it, one of my friends gave me the idea, and that is to, once you've saved a workout and you have like exercises saved, what will happen then is that when you add, so if I've already done a bench press in the last workout or some other workout, then once I add bench press to my exercise routine for this workout, I will get the reps and sets that I did last workout. So what I get then is this, but then that would be like kind of a placeholder. So that'll be like slightly gray. So it doesn't get, so that you can kind of see that, okay, last time I did 10 reps at 10 kilos. And now I want to do maybe 11 reps at 10 kilos. Because that's kind of going to be then an easy way for you to progress in your workouts, which is like the main thing that's going to make you grow or like improve. And yeah, so basically the first thing is clutter with these apps. They are all like super cluttered. And the second thing is they pretty much all of them, I don't know that I have seen one that where you can choose your own exercise names. Pretty much all of them have already decided names. Pretty much all of them have like videos and stuff and photos of like how to do the exercises. I don't want to see that. I know how to do them. So it feels like that kind of also adds to the clutter of the app. I'm not going to have that in my app. And I know that I'm going to lose some people on that because some people want to know, and it's fine for me. Like some people want to know how to do the exercises and they should be able to do that. But in my app, I don't want to have that because I just feel like it ends up being too cluttered. And then just simplicity in general, like this is like 5 tabs, is it? Yeah, so 5 different tabs. Just simplicity, that's like the main goal of my app, and that's why I don't use the apps that are out there. There's another one called rep count, which someone told me about, which is pretty good, but it's still not what I'm looking for. Okay, so with that tantrum or like tangent out of the way, I'm gonna get back to like doing the app. Okay, so you were asking if this graph can be made in Flutter. I'm gonna have a look at it. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I think you can, because there's like, but it's gonna be a little bit difficult. Like you can pretty much make anything you want in Flutter as far as I understand it, but it just might be a bit of work because like maybe no one else has done that before. So you might have to end up doing that from scratch without like being able to look at a tutorial or something like that. So it might be a little bit difficult. Okay, Leicester John. Yeah, cool man. I use Strong to track my workouts. It's a really fantastic app, and I think you can do most of the stuff you're describing. You can create custom exercises, workouts, and it does show you previous for each exercise. Okay, that's great. It might be that there are ones that are going to be better than mine, and that mine is not going to be good at all. I don't know, but I think that there's a lot of things that I have in my head that I'm hoping are going to turn out pretty good as well once I actually build it. Okay, so let's see. What do we want to return here? This returns a content text. Okay, how does that work? Okay, yeah, that's right, because that's not actually building anything. Okay. So then what we want is we want to do create stream builder, snapshot.data. Okay, so we kind of need to know what we're gonna get when we're actually asking for the data from the server or the database. And right now I'm not really sure what we're gonna get, so okay, let's have a look, because I know that I did some tests. Okay, get user test, create workout, user. Okay, so this thing, comment that, create max cards. Okay, so I'm trying to find where I actually get the, okay, future builder, user, get user, content snapshot, username, email. Okay, create user cards. Okay, let's have a look at the workout class just to see what we have here, because we want to get workouts. Okay, workout ID equal, okay, future list of workout. Okay, so this is also one of the things, because like in my opinion, you're supposed to be able to either name your workouts, and that way you can redo a workout, or you don't name your workout when you save them, and that way you don't have to redo, or you can't redo the workout. And so that means that some workouts, when we're gonna like query the database, some workouts are gonna have a name, and some workouts are not gonna have a name. And then we have a couple options. I think the what do you call it, like best practice is to actually like filter all of that stuff on the server side. So like doing that on the back end, and then just basically getting the list that you actually want. So what we want to get is we only want to get the workouts that actually have a name. We don't want to get all the workouts that don't have a name. So if we do like get workouts, then we'll get all the workouts, even if they have a name or don't have a name. So one of the things that we can do is then go to the backend and then fix that so that we have another endpoint where we can get just the workouts with names. But what we still need to do, and it feels like I'm like trying to like wiggle my way out of this, and that is to actually get a list of something. Okay, so we'll have a list of widget. Okay. If snapshot.data is empty, return container. We just want a container then. Okay. Because then if there's no data in the query, so basically if you don't have any workout saved, then we don't want to see anything. So we're just gonna return an empty container. What was that other one called? Oh no. I think that was one that he made. Okay, and then otherwise, we want to return a list. Snapshot.data. Okay. So that depends on what do we get back. So maybe we just want to return the snapshot.data. Snapshot.data. Okay, so that works. Now we're getting all the stuff that we want, I think, because then we're going to be able to actually use that as because this is going to be the like JSON data that's going to contain all of the information about the workout. Okay, initial data. Let's go here and let's see how we did it here. Okay, future builder equals new future builder, return future builder. Okay. Create user cards, context, future builder. Okay. Create user cards. We're going to have a look at that. Okay. Okay, so I think I know what we're doing. Get max list, user ID, Okay, so what else do we have here? So what if we do something like that? Get workouts user. Okay, so we can do that. We can do get workouts user, and then we'll get the workouts. Okay. Exercise max data. Okay, so can we return this? Okay, so we're gonna do something a little bit different, and we're gonna do this. So this is gonna be the list view, but then what we want that to be is gonna be get saved workouts. And then we're gonna have to have another method here, which is where we actually like do the stuff that we want to do. So we're gonna create a widget. Why is that red? Okay, I'm not really sure what happened now. Because you see all of this, like they turned red. Why did they turn red? Was that really the reason? Just that I didn't... Okay, that's really strange. Okay, anyway, let's have a look. Get saved workouts. Okay, so then that's where we get that. And then this is going to be build saved workout list. And this is going to take an async snapshot. And then what we do is we do return build saved workout list snapshot. Okay. And then in here is where we actually like return a list view. Yeah, so that's the list view we're going to return here. So return, actually, var workout. Okay, so we need to figure out what is going to be in here. Okay, let's go here. Future get max list user ID. Okay. So where do we get that thing from? So I think we're going to have to import all of this stuff in this one. We're not going to use most of it, but we're going to have to import it. And we want to see, how do we get to the user? Okay, so in here, what happens if we just type in user? Okay, so we don't have that. So we need to find where we actually keep the user models. Yep, is that the one? I think that's the one. Okay, so we need to import this one into this page. I'm gonna have a look at models, user.dart, models.dart. That's the one. Okay, import that here. Nice. And then do user get user. Future user cannot be assigned to variable type user. Okay. All right. So anyway, let's think. This is what we get. Widget. Okay. So we want to return a list view. List view. Okay. And then we want the children to be, okay. So then in here is where we're going to have to find out kind of, okay, that's what I was doing. I'm sorry that I'm like super like back and forth with this, because this is something where I'm fairly new to it. So it might be, I'm like trying to figure it out in my head at the same time as I'm actually like building it. But let's see what we get. Okay, so we have that, and then we use snapshot.data.first name. Okay, user equals snapshot.data. We want to see where we actually get something like this one, max list equals snapshot.data. Okay, so then what we want to do is we want the models. So we want the workout list to be equal to that list, right? Okay, yep. For now, we're going to do that. I don't know if that's the best way, because what I'm like thinking of in my head right now is that if we use it here, then basically if we want to get all of the workouts later on, then this might affect that. So like for instance, we're going to have a, I don't know if I've designed this yet. Oh yeah, I have designed that. Okay, so we're going to have a calendar page. And this is going to be all of the workouts that you've done are going to be like these little green dots here. And the problem with setting this to be the saved workouts is that this is not going to be all of the workouts that you've done. And that means that if we set that here and then the user goes to the calendar, then we're going to have to make sure to like change that. But then I don't want to have like too many lists. Maybe we'll just straight away make another list actually, because I think that's going to be the best way to do it. Saved. Okay, we're going to call that named workout. Named workouts list. Okay. And then what we'll do here is we'll do this equals snapshot dot data. Okay, good. And initial data is going to be user. Oh no, wait. Get workout user. Okay. This could work, but I'm not really sure. Like there's usually when you're doing this stuff, it's like there's a few steps in this process, and like it usually doesn't work out straight away. So we're just gonna have to try it. Hopefully it'll work, but we don't know. Okay. Let's see. Okay, children. Yep. All right. So then we're gonna have to actually get. So for workout in named workouts list, we're gonna have to get the specific card. So we're just gonna make another method. This is also a bit like, I don't know if this is good to make this many methods for just one thing, because we're gonna have to do a couple of these things. So it might be better to like move this to a different file or something like that to kind of keep this one a little bit cleaner, because otherwise it ends up being like so much stuff in one file. But for now we're just gonna have it like this. Okay, let's think. Widget, what do we want to get? We want to get the actual workout card. Okay, that's actually just going to be text pretty much. So we're just going to do, what are we going to do? Okay, so we can do something like list view builder, and that kind of does a lot of the work for us. List view builder Flutter. So a lot of this stuff, I just Google it every time, because it's like, I don't really need to read the tutorial because I've done it before, most of the things. I just need to see like what the whole thing is going to look like, because that's, because I don't remember all of this. Like, I don't use it enough to actually remember it. Some of it I do remember, but most of it I just don't use enough to actually remember. Okay, so we're going to return a list view.builder. Builder. All right, item count equals da da da. Okay, so we're almost there, and we're almost going to run this now, and hopefully this will work first go. May not, and most likely it won't work first go, because it's like these things usually don't work straight away. Named workout list index dot workout name. Okay. And it does look pretty promising, to be honest, but the main issue that I see right now is the user. I don't know if the user has been like initialized at that point. I think it should have been, but we really just don't know. Okay, get user equals get user. Okay, I think we might have to. Okay, let's just run it. Hopefully it'll work. Maybe it won't. Okay, so this is the first test. I don't think that this is gonna work, but we'll see. Okay. Future Lila has no instant getter is empty. Okay, we'll have a look at the error message. Oop. Okay. Streambuilder.build. Okay, let's see what the problem was. The following no such method. Streambuilder future list workout dirty. Is empty. Okay, so it doesn't have the is empty. Where do we call that? We do that here. Okay, well, let's just see snapshot.error. I think that's what we do in this one. If snapshot.has error. Okay, don't think that'll fix it, but we'll see. Okay, I think we get a different. Yeah, so we get a different error now. Okay, the following assertion was thrown. Streambuilder, Streambuilder, async snapshot, Future list workout is not a subtype of list workout. Okay, what if? Because right now we're using Streambuilder, but we could do a future builder as well, I think. And dot. Okay, initial data. Is that what it's called here too? Future. Future. All right. Now this I think could work, but the question is just still if we have a user or not. Contract 16. Hi. So some of your YouTube videos, decided to stop by. I'm glad you decided to stop by. I hope this will be fun to watch. Okay, so this is where we're at. This is like the big moment again. We're gonna try it. Okay, error. No such method. Error. The getter ID was called on null. Okay. I think that this problem is due to the fact that the user is not initialized yet. Okay. So maybe what if we do something like we make a method here. What do we want to return? What does this return? Get workout. That returns a future workout, I think, if I'm not completely mistaken. Get workouts, future list workouts. Okay, so that is what we want to return. Okay. All right, let's see what we can do about that. If we do this, get workouts, user. And this is also like, this is not going to be the way that we actually do it. Actually, how do we do it in the best way? Because the thing is that we want to have the user already initialized. Like the problem right now, I think, is that if we print the user, so print user dot username, then I think we get an error because we basically don't have a user at that point. Yeah, so the getter username was called on null. That means that when we're actually getting the user here, we don't have a user, and that's going to be a problem. So what we need to do is we need to actually initialize the user before we start the app, or when we start the app, the user already needs to be like initialized. So we're going to have a look at how to do that. User initialization Flutter. Okay. Is there a way to load? You can use stream builder to do this. We'll run the builder method whenever the data in the stream changes. Okay, what if we do something like this? We create an init state here, and what we want is, so init state is that here, init okay. I think it's here that we create the at override init state. Update. Okay, so that is then what we want. Paste and then do that. Okay. All right, I think that's what we do, and then we run it. Does that work? Seems like it works. Okay. What we want to do now is we want the user to be equal to get user Hallden. Okay. And await get user. Okay, let's do a future builder, and then go future, and that is then going to be equal to get user. Username is Hallden. This is going to be something that's probably going to be saved on the device, I think. And then builder, build context, and then async snapshot. Okay. Return. What do we want to return? So we want to check if, so we want to do this thing. Future builder user. Okay, so what if we just call the get card method here? Maybe that'll be simpler. Okay, let's just try this. I don't know if this is like a great idea or anything, but we're at least okay. So that did not work. So get user Hallden snapshot, return snapshot of first name. What if we just copy that thing and then we just return that here? So we do a user then return snapshot data. Okay. Future, how come that doesn't work here? That works here, but it doesn't work. Ah, okay. So that's why. I haven't added a login page yet, so I'm gonna add that at some point, but I think that's something that we can add towards the end actually, so it's not something that I necessarily have to add right now. Okay, get first user. Okay, so that works now. Let's clean that up. Okay, so now that looks a little bit better. Now what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're actually getting the user that we want. We want the user, okay, future builder user. What if we do that? Okay, so that works then. All right, and this is just going to be return. We can return this for now. All right, and then what we do is we go var data, actually user equals future builder dot user, and then dot. No, okay. So now we get a future builder, like so. What we want to do is we want to actually get, okay. So then what we want to do is we want to do here, we can do something like set user snapshot, and then we'll do here void set user async snapshot. Okay, and then user equals snapshot dot data. Okay. And then we'll do something like this. If if the snapshot has an error, dot has error, then we'll just return container, else we'll return this. Okay, I don't like, this is not the way to do this, but I'm just gonna, this is just like a try to see then if we get it to work. And if it does work, then that's good. And I think it might just work. Get first user. Okay, so that's then what we're going to call here. We're going to call get first user. And you know, that might work, might not work. Okay, so apparently that didn't do what we wanted to do. Okay, and then print user dot username. Okay, so apparently, so maybe that's just because it doesn't run. Is that the problem? Maybe init state should be somewhere else. You know what? Let's do get first user. We can do that in the build method here. So let's do that. Okay, run it again. Feels like that should print, but it doesn't print it for some reason. Okay, so this is the problem that we're stuck at. We need to get that working. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to solve this. Well, like there's ways to solve it, and what we could do is something like actually like getting the user here or something like that, like in the method. But that, like the problem then would be that we need to get the user every time. So every time that we want to get something from the server, we also first need to get the user, and then we need to get the thing, and that's not really what we want. Okay, so maybe let's go to workout. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do this instead, and we're gonna do string ID. So what if we do that, and then we just go here. For now, this is going to be our like temporary solve, and we're going to copy the user ID. So if you did not, I'll explain actually what I was doing in case you didn't understand. So this is like the URL. This is the endpoint, I think is what it's called. And this is where what we were doing is we were like, when we were getting the workouts, we added the user here, and then we used user.id, and then we got the ID of the user. But I think that a better way to do it is just to have, because you want to save as little as possible on the actual device. And I think that, I'm not sure about this because I haven't looked it up. This is just like me thinking about it in the most logical way that I can. And the way that I understand it, I think you would save like a user ID on the device, and then that's the only thing that you need to get all the stuff from the server. Because basically once you have the user ID, then you can get the workouts, you can get the people you're following, or whatever really that you need. So I think this is going to be a better way to do it. But then what you need to do is then you need to save the user ID. And that way, all you need to do, like the first time when you log into the app, is that's the time when you actually like get the ID from the server. And then once you've gotten that, you save that, and then when you reload the app, you are already logged in because you have the user ID. And yeah, so that's kind of how it would work, I think. So let's go here, and what we'll do is we'll just paste what we copied, and maybe that will work. Like this is one of the things I think this should work. Like I don't really see why it wouldn't work. Okay, so I think that might have worked, and I think the problem now is more going to be something with the view. Yep, okay. So I think when you do the list view builder, you usually need to do something like shrink wrap true, I think. And I think that then will solve the problem. But I'm not sure. Okay, so that did not solve the problem. Where were we? This, get saved workouts. Item builder, return new text, named workouts, okay. the following descendant. No. Okay. So I'm just going to try some things now. I think, yeah, so that then gives us what we wanted, I think, 200. Apparently it was just that we didn't have enough like constraints. Okay, so now we can see the best workout is up top and new workout. And those are like workouts that I've added. So if we go to the database and then we do select start from workouts, select start from workouts, you can see that we have best workout here and new workout. And I don't know, maybe you can't see that too well on the screen. Oh, come on. Right, so then you can see best workout and new workout, and that is coming from the server. So that's really good. Finally, and I think that like this is one of those things again that I think is like super cool, that I'm able to like build this. This is basically like Instagram, like this is any Facebook, any app out there. This is what they do. They may do it in a better way than what I'm doing, but they are doing it properly. All right, I'm just gonna see. Can you guys see me or is it black? Okay, because mine, I'm also like watching the stream here on my computer so that I can see your chats and like the messages that you're sending, and all of a sudden it turned black. Okay, so we're actually able to get something from the server now and show that on the screen, which is great. That's exactly what we want. Okay, now we want to just fix this so that that looks a little bit better. We want the width to maybe be a 200 for now. Okay, so that's good. And we want this to be centered as well. So we want to do center and then child and same thing. And that should then center our list. Okay, so that centered it in that way. What if we do this main axis alignment? And then cross-axis alignment dot center. Okay, so that does not fix it. I think it made some of it look a little bit better, but that's not really what we want. Maybe that has something to do with this. So let's do this one then, text align text align center. Okay. Yep, so that changed it to the middle. We don't want the whole thing to be in the middle, so we're just gonna remove the center thing because that's not what we wanted it to look like. This is really good because it's like, this is exactly why I decided to do this stream, or this is one of the reasons why I decided to do this stream, is to then kind of force myself to first of all work on the app, and second of all, like, I'm able to work on this app, and at the same time I'm also able to like create something. I'm able to show you guys something, and maybe someone will learn something from it, and I'm also able to create like more content and something that I can then post to my YouTube channel. So kind of it's like, I like to think of it like hyper effective, because it's like I do, just by doing these like 3 hours here right now, I end up like saving myself or like I get so much out of these 3 hours. I'm getting the work done on the app. I'm getting like connections with you guys. I might get subscribers on the channel, like on my Twitch channel. I get another video that I can upload to my YouTube channel, which is really good. So it's like I get so many things out of just doing this. So yeah, I'm really quite happy that I started doing this. And to be honest, I'm like not the guy that usually gets up in front of people and starts talking and like doing things. So it's a bit strange that I'm doing it right now. Top and do 20. Okay, so then we get a little bit of space there. That looks pretty good. We don't want this one to be 200. We want it to be probably like 100 maybe. Feels like 100 is going to be a little bit too small. But that looks, okay, that looks better. Let's look at the design again and see what we're actually building. So, okay, so this is what we want it to look like. And I'm not sure why that is green. I think that's just green because that's when you press it, it should be like a green splash color or something like that. Okay. So let's design this a little bit better. Let's make this into a flat button, and child is going to be this one. And then we want to set the style to be title style. Okay, run it. So that looks a bit better again. And this is like, you can then go through the list. And if we do an on pressed, like so, and then we run it, and then we do that. So then you get that kind of like splash color. Okay. So that looks pretty good right now. We may want that to be bigger though. So we want that to be maybe 150. And you know what? Let's just make this into a global thing so that we don't have to like copy and paste that everywhere. So we'll go here. We'll go string user ID equals, oh shit. Okay, so then we can just call on user ID here instead, so that we don't have to keep like copying and pasting that everywhere. Okay, so that looks better. Let's remove the color from this thing because we don't want that. Okay, run that. So now we have that as a list. I don't really like that there's so much space between them. So I would want to like change that in some way. But for now that's gonna be fine. And then let's add the last thing, which is gonna be the buttons. So here we have that, and then we're gonna add a container, I think. Yeah. I just have to like think through what I'm adding and why I'm adding it. Okay. Mammoter asked, hey, how do you enjoy Flutter and why did you choose it? Well, I really do enjoy Flutter because it's like I don't know what you guys think, but feel like I'm super fast at building these things. And it's not because I'm that great, it's just because Flutter, for me, Flutter just makes sense and it's like super simple for me to use. So I'm really enjoying it, and that's also the reason why I chose it. And also the main reason is like you're able to write the code once and then run it on both, on any like device basically. So that's the thing, like it's gonna be so much easier than having to write it both in like Xcode and Swift and all that stuff, and write it in Android Studio and Java. Like that's gonna be like two code bases and trying to make everything look the same. This way, when you write it here, it's gonna look pretty much exactly the same on all devices. So it just makes it a lot simpler. Okay, create a new container, and then we'll go child. And what we want is a column, children, and then we're gonna have a text, and this is gonna say or, and then we want style, title, style. Okay, and then underneath that we want a row, like so, and then we want containers. We're going to add buttons, but we're going to have them in containers. So children, container, and this one is going to be child flat button, child text. Save. Let's see. Let's have a look at the design again. Oh no, start new. I was a bit lost. Okay, start new. That's what we want. Start new. Style is going to be button style. Title maybe? Nope. Okay, so we need to go here again and just have a look at what we've set. Button text style. Okay. All right. There we go. And we're going to have the color or unpressed. Save, and this container is going to be colors. Oh no, wait. Accent color, I think. Okay, so let's just run that and see what we get. Red Hat Ranger, what's the app on the side of the Xcode, both sides? Which one do you mean down here at the bottom? Evernote, if that's the one that you mean. I'm not sure if that's the one you mean. Okay, start new, that looks pretty good. Also what we want rounded corners for a button. Usually what I do with buttons is I do something like this, where we do decoration, and then we can do box decoration, box decoration, border radius. I'm just going to show you because it's fairly quickly done. Radius dot circular 30. Okay. And what happens then is that when we run this, we will get, okay. Oh, okay, that's might be why. Need to set the color too of the button. So color is accent color. Okay. Let's run that again. All right, so now you see we get a rounded button, but I think that when we press this now, we're gonna get like a splash color is what it's called, which is like when you press the button, it gets like a little color that goes across it. And what that's gonna be, I think is gonna be like, that's still just gonna be a rectangle. So that's gonna look kind of weird. Yeah, so as you can see, like there's a kind of a rectangle shape, so it doesn't actually like fit on the container, and that kind of makes it look really shitty. So I'm gonna try to find a way to do that in a better way. So let's see, set rounded border flat. You can use raise button shape. Okay, so shape is what we're going to use. Rounded rectangle border. All right, so that's the one that we want. So then we just add that here. Oop. Shape. And I think that's going to solve our problems. So if we remove this stuff, remove that, color, accent color, save it and run it again. Okay. So now you can see the shadow is going to be actually fit the actual button, so that's really good. That's what we wanted. Okay. Okay, maybe what I've done in the past is like the opposite thing. So what if we do a container here, child, this, and then height 80, and then colors dot red. Okay. Okay, so that does not seem like it works. But it does do something, which is it does actually set the height of the button to be a little bit different. So center, child, dom, good. And then we'll actually just remove the container because we don't really need the container apparently. Okay, so now we have that. That should look a little bit better. We'll remove the color from that one, and then we'll set the color inside the actual button. So color, accent color. Okay. Then when we run that, it should make it look better. Yep, so that looks better. We want it to be 50 maybe. Okay, that looks pretty good. And we don't want the corners to be 30, we want them to be like 5 maybe. Okay, so that's starting to look a lot more like what we're actually going for with the design. So this is what we're going for. Maybe let's set the width as well, width 100. Okay, that's starting to look a lot better, and it's looking a little bit more like the design. Yeah, like I would say, like contract 16 said, using Flutter is cross-platform, so you just have to write the code once. You don't have to write it on all the different things. Red Hat Ranger was asking why someone would choose Flutter over native development, basically, and that's the reason, I think. Okay, so now we'll add the next button. So we'll just copy the whole thing and then we'll add it here. Okay, and this is gonna be cancel. And on press, this one is just gonna dismiss the alert window. So how do we dismiss the one? Dismiss alert dialog Flutter. Navigator.off context. Is that how we do it? We'll see if that works. Like, this is why Stack Overflow is just so great. You can just like Google things and then basically, usually it's going to be pretty good at giving you the right answer straight away. Okay, that worked. Let's see, that's what we've got. And as you see right now, they're like completely like right next to each other, so there's no space between them. And the row class or widget has a very nice feature, which is, and that's what the column feature has, or the column widget has this feature as well, which is main axis alignment. Then you can do main axis alignment dot space between, and that will then maximize the space between the different widgets. So then when we run it again, you see we get the space between them, and that's what we wanted. We also probably want to add some space here, so we're going to wrap this in a container. And then we're going to go child this, and then margin edge insets all 10. Okay, so that's what that looks like. So that's now looking pretty close to what we wanted that to look like. We can then select the workout like so, or we can start a new workout, and what that should do is then remove the window and start the new workout for us. We're not gonna go into this feature right now because we don't wanna, because first of all, we have to design this thing so that we can actually create workouts. And then once we've designed this, then we can get into actually like being able to load a workout, like a previously existing workout. But yeah, so now let's get to actually making this look the way that we want. Cancel, and that removes it. And then when you start new, what should happen is pretty much the same thing. So it should dismiss this one, should be dismissed. And then we should do a set state, and what do we want to set this? Is new. Okay, I think that is what we do. So let's try that. I want to start a new workout. Bam, that works. Okay, that's really good. We've gotten pretty far in like 2 hours. I hope the stream is working well, like that you guys can hear me, so that it's not like, because like I said at the start, there's like the Wi-Fi out here is quite bad. So I wasn't sure whether this would work, but it seems like no one's really mentioned anything about like any like lagging or anything like that. So I guess that it is working. I'm just looking at some of the chat to see if there's any questions. Any recommendations for app design, for the app design process by Mammoter? I don't really have any recommendations other than like I'm not that great at it. I just, like I showed you in the first, if you go to YouTube, you can see the first episode of this. Or the first stream that I did with the startup, or no, wait, that's not actually for that startup. What I usually do is I go to Pinterest and I just look at app designs there because they're usually really good. And then I kind of try to figure out, first of all, I like to figure out I kind of do this, both of these things at the same time. So I like to first figure out what color scheme I want, so what are the colors that I want to use, and that kind of also comes with looking at designs. So basically sometimes like you see a really good design and then you know like, okay, so that's how you could combine those colors, and usually that kind of sparks an idea in my head, and then I kind of go with that. I was really happy with the design for the Note app that I was doing in last week's streams. So I was really happy with that because I feel like that ended up looking really good. It's very basic still, but it's like, I like the color scheme and kind of the design and the simplicity of the apps. That's usually what I go for every time. Like when I build apps, I always go for simplicity and try to do it really like minimalist in a sense. Okay. Now is one of those times when you get to like, okay, so we finished one feature and we kind of pushed hard to finish that feature. And now we have a completely new like blank page that we need to build out. And that's usually when it like slows down a bit, because then you're like, you have to like start over, it feels like. Because now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to build this new page from scratch. But we're gonna get started because we only have 1 hour left now. Just call me Steven, bro. Okay, Steven. What's up? What are we doing today? We're building the startup. We're coding on the startup. So the workout tracking app, that's what we're building. And what we've done so far is we've created this little alert window where we can get a list of the workouts that we've done before that we've saved with a name. Yeah, so that's basically what we have so far, so we can get those workouts and we can start a new workout, and this is where we're at now. So we're going to try to build out this page now. Oh, tough. Okay, so what do we want? Well, The thing now is that there's a couple different things. I haven't designed what it looks like, because now you press start, you get to this page, then you press start new, and the question then becomes, should you get a blank page, so a page that just like doesn't have anything on it, like so? Should you get a page like that where it just says exercise, reps, sets, weight, rest? Or should you get a page that looks completely empty? And maybe you just have like something like this in the middle, where you can add your first like exercise or your first set. I haven't really decided this yet, so I'm not sure what we're gonna go with, because just having like this when you open up this page is gonna be it's gonna look a bit strange, it feels like. So if you just have like, as soon as you press start new workout and you get just this, that kind of looks unfinished. It looks like there's something that should be here that's not there. And if we remove that and just have a blank page and just assume that the user is going to know to press up here, that's also going to be a little bit like, feels a bit like there's something went wrong or something like that. So I think the best way to do that is going to be to maybe have just a green button with like an add thing. So we're going to have to know if we're starting a new workout. Oh, I'm getting tired now. Okay, bool workout started equals false. What we'll do is we'll create another one that's going to be called new workout is new workout is equal to false. And then down here, we're going to set that to be true. Is new workout equals true. Okay. So then if it's a new workout, then what we want to get, where's the build method? Build okay, here we go. Build return container. Okay, here we go. Workout started, question mark. So then this is what we get when the workout is started. And what we want here is child, and then we want is new workout, question mark, question mark. And if it is a new workout, then we want to get something else. So what do we want to get? We want to get a container like so. Okay, height 100. Oh no, wait. 80. And then the color to be blue, just so that we can kind of see what we're getting. Blue, okay. And then if it's not container. Okay, so why does that not work? List container can't be assigned to the list of widget. Why not? Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I was trying to assign a list to something that is not a list. Okay. So that makes total sense why that didn't work. Okay. Down, down, down. Why do we get that there? I don't want that there. Okay, let's remove that. Okay, so now it looks better. Okay, else we want to return a new container that has a height of 80, and the color should be, what should the color be? Should be red, green maybe. Dot green. Okay, so now what should happen is that when we press new workout, we should get, yeah. So now when we press new workout, we should get a blue container. And basically this is just to check whether we want a new workout or whether we're selecting an old workout that we've already done. So if we run it, we should get a blue, I think it's a blue window, it could be a green one, I don't know. Okay, so we got a blue one. That is what we wanted. Okay. Now the next thing is to figure out, okay, so we're gonna add the add button. Is new workout. Oh, this is also one of those things like where we're gonna have to, like, I don't know, there might be better ways to do this, but I feel like we're gonna have to add many like kind of booleans, and that's usually like bad practice. That's not what you're supposed to do, because basically now we know if it's a new workout or if we've selected an old workout, but we still have a problem of if it's the first exercise that you're adding. Because if it is the first exercise, then basically we want to just display the we just want to display the add button. So what if we remove that just to see kind of what that looks like? Okay, so then that just disappears. Okay. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to do child, and then I want to create a method for basically for building this stuff. Oh. Child, and that's going to be a list view, I think. No, wait, we're going to have that be a column. And then we're going to get the children is going to be the method. So this is going to be the method. So we're going to get body of workout. Okay. Then we're going to do here list of widgets. Get body of workout. And basically this is going to be also quite interesting, or an interesting problem to be like trying to solve, and that is we're going to have to use like some 2D arrays and do some of that stuff, because we're basically going to have to keep track of first of all, we're going to have to keep track of an exercise, and then we're going to have to keep track of how many rows are in here. We're going to have to keep track of how many reps and sets and how much weight is in the exercise as well. And then we're going to have to keep track of how many exercises that we actually have. So that's going to be something that I'm probably going to have to like bring out the pen and paper to kind of jot down all the different scenarios and like all the different things to be able to do it. All right. Let's see. We want a list of widgets. Okay, so that is where we get that. Okay, so here return, and then we're going to check if it's the first exercise. Bool is first exercise equals false. Okay. Is first exercise. Okay, so here is first exercise question mark, and then we're going to return, if it is the first exercise, then we're going to return a container. Maybe what if we do expanded? We're going to try that just to see what that looks like. Expanded child container, and then child floating action button, and then child icon icons dot add. Okay, on pressed. Okay. All right, so now we have that. Otherwise, we're going to return a container. Okay, so I'm not sure how the expanded thing is going to work. Container, oh, okay. That's one of the funny things when you're like programming. You keep doing these like stupidly simple mistakes, like just not setting that to be a list is very stupid and simple. Okay, so if it is first exercise, okay, so that should be true actually. True. And then we'll run it again. Okay. So run it like so. Alright, so it seems like that didn't work because so we're not going to use expanded, we're just going to use a container. Oop. Okay, so now we have a container. What we want to do too, okay, we'll just do that and we'll run it. Here, start new workout, start new. Okay, so there you go. We have the little add button up there. We also want to do margin edge insets dot only top only top, and then we'll go 100. No, we'll go 200. All right, so now we get that in the middle, which is where we want it. We don't want to have a color, so we just want that to be white for now. Okay. So that's then going to be the add button. That's right now that looks a little bit stupid with just that small add button, but I think if we change that, one of the things that we could do too is like as soon as you've pressed start new workout, you get to the window, you get another alert window, which would be this one, where you enter the name of the exercise and then you enter that name, and then you get to this place where you just have basically just the first exercise. So like so, but with no previously added stuff. So that's one way that you could do it too, is like, and I think that's maybe the better way to do it, to be honest, because this way it's just going to be like you first get this button that you have to press, then you have to press this one to start the workout, and then all of a sudden you get to a page that looks pretty much the same as this one, and then you have to press that again. Which I think is just going to be a little bit too much, and not really, it's not going to make too much sense, I don't think. So we're actually going to scrap that idea entirely. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to return an alert window. Okay, so that is what we want to do. Show alert, workout alert. Let's just copy that. So we'll copy that whole method that we did, and then we'll just paste it here because we're going to do the same method pretty much. We're going to remove, well, let's have a look at what it looks like. So that looks pretty much similar to what this one looks like, and this is actually again going to be quite interesting in my opinion, because now what we need to do is, again, we need to query the database, and we need to actually get the different exercises. So we need to get bench press, like all the different exercises that the user has already been doing, and we need to display that. So that's pretty much going to look exactly like this, but we just need to add a text field. So we can basically just reuse the whole thing. Show, this is then show add new exercise alert. Okay. And that is then what's going to show up when you press this one. Is new workout equals true. And then we want to do this. Okay, I think that's going to work. Not really sure. Get saved exercises. And then we're just basically going to copy the get workout method as well. This is a good thing that once you've done a few of these things, you can just copy them, and they should work straight away. So that's what we want, and then we'll call that the name that we set up here. So what is the name? Get saved exercises. Show start workout alert. Okay, that's the one. Oh. That's the one. Okay. Get exercises. Okay, so don't we have that? Let's have a look. Exercises. Okay, so it seems like we don't have that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add these methods as well to the exercises so that we can actually get the exercise list. So that's going to be here. We're going to do that. Save that, and then exercise like so, and then go exercise from JSON. String response.body is not a future list. Okay, so we need to look at what we import here. So we import that. Workouts from JSON. Okay. We need to import that here. So now we have that. What we're going to do is we're going to go exercises. Okay. So we need to find, because we have this one, workouts from JSON. Let's see where we set that one. Okay, so that's where we set that. List workouts from JSON. Okay, and then we'll go here. And we're just basically going to have to add this here. Exercises from JSON, and this is going to be exercise list. Exercise from JSON. Okay. We don't need to print the data, I don't think. Okay. And then we copy that, add that here. That should work. And URL. So we need to import the URL as well. Okay. So now we can do get exercises. Okay. Exercises ID equals, okay. So now the question is if we've actually made such a method, get exercises. So now the question is if we've actually made such a method in the backend, so in the Python script. Let's just finish this now to make sure that this actually works. Okay, build saved workout list. Oh, Command F, search. Okay. And this is going to be the same thing, but instead what we want is we want that to be build saved exercise list. Exercise list. Exercise list. Okay, so it seems like we don't have that here. List of exercises, nope. List exercise size. Okay, so we don't have that, so let's import that then. Okay, exercise list. Okay, now I think that one of the problems is that we actually use exercise list here. We're gonna have to name that something else. So let's just name that the exercise list. You could just name this list because it doesn't really matter that it's called exercise list in here, because you're never gonna call on that list, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, let's see. Size list. So there we go, we have that. All right, so now we have all the things that we need to be able to get it. So now let's just run it and see if, because it could be that I already have added that method to, no, I haven't added that method. Okay, so let's then go to the backend and let's see what we have. So let's go app.py. Okay. So all of these are like the different endpoints. We have login. We have body stats. You can get that. Maxes, workout. What we want to do is we want to get exercises. Okay, so we don't have that. Okay. Workouts, try username.request, ours username, filter user ID. Okay, let's copy this because I think it's going to be the same as this one. And then we're going to call that exercises, and ID. Equals user ID. And then we'll put that there, save, and okay, maybe we just need to do that here actually. And we might not actually need that. Okay, so I think this could in exercises. So I think this could be all that we need. Okay, let's do. Okay, view function is overriding. Okay, we have that. Or no, do we? Exercises. Okay, 1. And then we'll search for it again. Okay, so we don't have, it says that we're overriding existing endpoint function, view function mapping is overriding an existing endpoint function tester. Okay, I'm not really sure what that is about. I have saved it and where did I run it? Okay, trace by . Function mapping is overriding existing endpoint function tester. Add URL. Ah, okay. I just realized what the problem was. Yeah, the function name. So someone actually saw that. Yeah, that's what the problem is. Get exercises. Okay, so that is the problem. So now should work. Okay, now it works. That's good. Oh, so simple. Exercises. Save it. Okay, works. Let's go here. Let's have a look at what we're doing. We're going here and we want to do exercises ID equals. Okay. So now, like, I think that actually should work. Just like that. Start new. Okay, formatter exception. Unexpected character. One global name, username is not defined. Okay, that is because we are using the username here. Are we not? Yeah, okay, exercises. Okay, let's see if we go to app.py, exercises ID, user ID, user. We don't have a user yet, right? No. So we might need to actually, let's just do this. Okay. Ah, yeah, that's right. User ID, okay. Exercises. Okay, I'm sorry, this is like going to be a little bit slow, I think. But user.username. Okay, I think that is the problem. Oh yeah, now we need to fix that again. Get exercises, save, run, that works. Okay, run this again. Object base query, object has no attribute, username. Okay, user, filter by ID. I think that might be a better way to get. I think that might be the problem. Let's see, okay, that works. Run it again. A lot of like trial and error to get this to work. Okay, list exercise is not a type of list workout. Okay, so then now we're actually getting to the problem that we want, which is, or we don't want this problem, but we get a problem of, so this is a problem that's going to be locally to the actual Flutter app, so it's not going to be related to the backend, which is what we want. Okay, so let's see where do we get that error. So let's first of all look here, exercises, that's good. Now I think, because I think that there's probably a place here where we're get saved exercises where we're actually not turning this into what it should be. So I think build saved workouts list. Okay, that's the one. Build saved exercises list is what we want instead, because we didn't change that. Save it and run it. Okay, get saved exercises, get exercises, build saved exercise list. Okay. Exercise list equals snapshot.data named. Okay. Exercise name. I didn't even change this. No wonder it didn't work. Okay. Data does not equal null. A null string must be provided. A non-null string must be provided to the. Okay. Command R. Then do this. Okay, so then that turns out. So then I want to just test this and see what exercises we actually have. So we're going to do select start from exercises. All right, so we have barbell bench press, we have squat, we have barbell bench press again, and we have squat. Okay, so that means that we only really have 2 exercise names. Exercise name. Okay, we can do something like this. Do otherwise it will return just a container. For now, that's what it's going to do. Okay. Okay, so that means that we don't really have any. So we can't get the exercise names for some reason. Maybe we should do, so in the backend side, we should maybe just try to print the exercise names to see if we actually get exercise names by doing this. Okay. Exercises, like so, and then for, this is Python, for exercise in print exercise dot value. Do you have any published Flutter apps on the App Store? Manly Court or whatever asked that question. Yeah, I do have some apps published to the App Store. I have one called, I think it's called, what is it called? This is a really bad like promotion for my app. Let's say Track Advance. So if you look up Track Advance, that's one of the apps that I've built completely in Flutter. And actually there's a video on my YouTube channel as well where I build that app. I don't know what that's called now, but I can link it maybe. So yeah, if you want to have a look at that, you can. All right, let's see, print value. Okay, we're saving that. Okay, and then we want to see what that looked like. Okay, so let's run that again. So then we'll take a look at this one, the terminal here, and we'll see what this prints when we do start new. Workout object has no value. What? Okay, run. And go here, go there, start new, format exception, workout object has no attribute value. Okay. So that seems to mean that we're not really printing, or that we're not getting exercises, we're getting workouts for some reason. Oh shit, that's why. Exercise. Okay, so that might be the reason then. Let's just do comment that for now, and we'll see. It's up. Yeah, so it's up and running. We'll run the Flutter app again. Could this be the reason that it didn't work? Let's see. Yes, we get the list of the exercise names. The only problem now is that, so we're getting the exercise names, which is really good, but we're getting duplicate names, which is what we do have in the database, because this is basically going to be related to, well, actually we shouldn't save it. I don't know, maybe I don't really remember why I'm saving it. Yeah, okay, so we need to save it duplicate, because as you see here, we have the exercise ID and then we have the workout ID. So that means that by using the workout ID, we can see that, okay, both of these exercises were done in the same workout, but they have two unique exercise IDs. Actually, this one should probably still be 70. So this one should probably be 70. And this one should be 72 as well. And this one should be 36, because this seems to work, but then the exercise ID doesn't seem to work, because that's like unique for the exercises. The thing is, I don't really remember why they are unique, so it might be that there's a reason for why they are unique. So maybe they need to be. But what we can do is we can go here and we can just fix that by looping through it and checking if we're getting the right thing. So let's see. Okay, for now we can just loop through it. So what we're going to do is we're going to loop through all the exercises, and then we're going to see if the exercise dot value dot. Okay, we're going to print that just to see what we get when we print it. Okay, so exercise has no attribute value. Okay, what do we have then? Can we print the exercise name? Okay, start new. Okay, so that seemed to have worked. Okay, so then we get that. Okay. And basically what we want to do is, okay, so we want to create a list that contains all of the exercises, so, or the exercises that we're going to send back. So we're going to call that exercise list equals new list, like so. Okay, and then for this one, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to check if the list contains that exercise. So if exercise list dot contains I just need to think about what we're doing. So if the exercise, because like I know this won't work, because we're basically comparing if the exercise object or if the list of exercise objects contains a string, which it won't because it's just going to contain exercise objects. So that shouldn't work. Oh, thank you, Hallden, or whatever the name is, for sending the YouTube link or the link to when I'm building that app. Thank you. Okay. So let's see. If it contains exercise name. So exercise list dot contains exercise dot exercise name. So we need to compare. We need to see if the list contains an object that already has, or that has the same name as another object. Okay. So how do we do that? Okay, maybe what we need to do is we need to just do another exercise names equals this. And then what we'll do is if exercise list names dot contains this, if it doesn't contain that, okay. If not exercise, is that how you do it? Is that how you do it in Python? Does anyone know? Or should I just Google it? So if it doesn't contain, so if this like exercise name doesn't contain it, then we want to add the name to the exercise name. So exercise names dot append exercise dot exercise name, and we also want to add this. Okay, shit. Exercise list dot append exercise. Okay. So if you didn't follow this, then what I'm doing is basically I'm looping through all the exercises that we're getting from the database. So when we're querying the database, we're going to get these exercises. We're going to get bench press, squat, bench press, squat. They're all the same exercise. So we just want to get bench press and squat. So then what we do is we compare, we see if, so we then create an empty list of exercise names. And then if this list doesn't contain, doesn't already have the exercise name, then we will add that to the list. And we will also add the exercise object to that list. And that way we're making sure that we only have one set of each exercise, so we don't have duplicates. So then if we do this, I think that we should get what we want. So if we run that again, we should just get barbell, bench press, and squat, I think. Okay. So now we need to run that again. Yeah. See, now we just get bench press and squat. And that's what we want. So that works really good. Okay, we have 5 minutes left. I just want to set, add a name to the thing so that we get a name or I just want to set the buttons to be the right names. So let's have a look at the design. What do we have? Cancel and add. We shouldn't be able to cancel at this point, I don't think. Or wait, yeah, we should be able to cancel actually. And then it should do exactly what it does right now. So that's fine, I think. Okay. And add is what the other button should say. So that should say add, and is first exercise equals false. Okay. Okay, and then we'll go and this doesn't need to happen here, I don't think. Wait, let's see where we're at. Start new, workout started equals true. This new workout, oh, actually that does need to happen there. Okay. So now when we run that, we get this, and then we can just say, if we select one of the names, then we should get do you want to add an old workout? Okay, so I've changed that. Okay, so apparently I set that in the wrong place. Sorry about that. Let's just go back and fix that. Okay, so here we go. We have this. Copy that. Remove this. That's not what we want. Okay. And then here is where we want to set this thing. So is first exercise equals false. Okay, and then this should be add, save, start new, start new. Okay, and then we'll look here. Okay, I think this is then what we need. Yeah, I think you can just do project and then you'll get information, because someone was asking that it would be nice to know what I'm working on right now. And if you just do exclamation mark project in the chat, then you'll get a little snippet of like what I'm working on currently in the stream. All right, start new workout, bench press squat, and then press add, and then we get here. So that's what we want. But we also, so let's go and run it again, because I want to see now what happens if we press cancel, because that should go back to this page ideally. Okay, so that doesn't go back to that page, and that is because we set these things to be true, I think. So we should then just remove this thing completely because we don't need that. So then now if we press cancel, I think it should do a move back. So then press cancel, moves back here. Okay, so that's good. Okay. Yeah, so that's exactly what we wanted. Now we just need to add the text field. So a text field here where we can actually type in the name of the exercise that we want to do. And then we also need to add the functionality for like pressing the exercises. So if we press that one, then that's the one that we're going to use. So that should then have the same functionality as pressing add. But yeah, we're gonna have to, and also we're gonna have to check if we've actually typed in something or selected like if we typed in something, then you should be able to press add. Otherwise, if you haven't typed in anything, then you shouldn't be able to press add, and that should just do nothing. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. So we'll first change this to add new exercise. What do we have? What do we call it? Enter the name of the exercise. Okay. Enter the name. And let's see, exercise. Okay. I think this might do what we want. So exercise. Okay. All right, so then by doing this is like the space or enter key. So that then adds that to the bottom so that it looks same as the design looks. All right, that's good. What else? What else? So that then says the right thing. That's great. Next thing we need to do is the text field. Okay, so the text field is going to be right below here. We're going to probably add that in a container just so that we can do some margins and stuff. Child. Is it now? Okay, so Hallden, I don't know how to say your name to be honest, but Hallden, is it now better to specific the task like today X transaction between Flutter and database timer in Flutter? Hi Young, okay. Okay, so Hi Young asked about the are you saying that it might be better to have the explanations of my project, the current project, to be a little bit more specific to what I'm doing? That's true, actually. I should probably make it a little bit more specific. This is just like the first thing that I've added so far. Okay, so let's do a text field. Text field. Okay, let's just see what that looks like if we run that. All right, so now we have a text field here. That looks, I mean, that looks like we want it to look, I think. We probably want the height of this thing to maybe be a little bit bigger because it overflows by 43 pixels. So maybe make it just 350 instead in height, because then it should, yeah. So now that fits everything that we want on the page. We can type in the name, or and then we can use that as the name for the exercise. What we want to do is we want to add a controller, and then what we do is we create a text controller, text editing controller. What's that called? Exercise name controller, new text. Okay, and what this does is that this is then what's going to control, or where we're going to be able to actually access the text from the text field. So if we set this to be the text editing controller for the text field, then once we press add, we can do a very neat little thing, and that is to do text text editing controller dot text dot length is greater than 0. So basically, if you've added a name to the text field, then this should happen. Otherwise, this shouldn't happen, because you don't want to be able to press add when you haven't added a name. All right. So this then means that if we do this and then press add, nothing happens when we press add, which is exactly what we want, because then you're not going to be able to, if you haven't typed anything in and haven't pressed an exercise, then you can't press add. Of course, you can do this and just do like a space, I think, and then that'll work. But in order to kind of fix that, so that people can't just do spaces, I mean, you could just do a thing where you just check if it's just spaces, then you can't do it either. But that's not super important, because that's one of those things that's like going to be a thing that we add to the end. So that's something that we can do later, I think. All right, but now we have that, which makes it so that it looks pretty much like the design, which is good. We can add a name. So let's do deadlift. You can add that. Now this thing, when you press add, that shouldn't add it to the database. That should just add it to our list here of exercises. But we are out of time. So I'm not going to do that today, because that's going to take another couple of hours. But it was pretty good. It was a good day. We got a lot of things done. Like, we got the list from the database here of the workouts. We got the list of the exercises from the database. And yeah, so I'm pretty happy with how far we got. And let's change it to the chat scene. All right. So I'm pretty happy with how far we got with the whole thing. And like I said at the beginning, I was kind of scared that this wouldn't work because of how the internet is out here. We're gonna get something called fiber. I don't know what that is called in English, but in Swedish we call it fiber, and that's like the high-speed internet connection. So once we get that out here, it's gonna be no problem being out here and streaming. And one of the reasons that I wanted to get this to work is one of the things that I really like about this, which is just being able to basically work from anywhere and do these sort of things where you just you can stream from here. I can be out here and basically on holiday, but still be able to do some work and get the streams done and get my videos up and all that stuff, which is really good. And now, since I've gotten to the point where I'm actually a partner with Twitch, that's really good as well, because now we can get subscribers. So I don't want to push that too much, because I don't want to be forcing anyone to subscribe, because I don't expect I don't expect of anyone to subscribe. I'd be super grateful for it, of course, but I don't expect you to subscribe. And I've also added the donation buttons. I'm probably going to add a subscribe button as well to the panels down below the stream. But that's the same thing there. I don't expect anyone to donate or subscribe or anything. It's just, if you feel like this is good and you want to support it, then that's great. And you should also know that just watching it, you support the channel and all that stuff. So there's really no burden on you. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little stream. I really did. I feel like this is what I wanted it to be. Last time when I was doing it, I was spending so much time trying to get the whole thing set up. So that kind of took a lot of the time, and it was just stuck on simple problems or annoying problems that probably aren't that great to watch. But now we're we're making progress and we're actually starting to build some stuff out. I think next week or next Sunday we're going to be building some more fun things. We're going to start actually building out the real UI, which is going to be great, I think. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream, and thank you for stopping by and watching and just hanging out and being active in the chat as well. Thank you for that, and I'll see you in the next stream.